Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Guy, and this is Guy Talks Sports. We've got an awesome show coming up today. Really good one. Got a few different things on the agenda. First off, UT hires some big wig attorney. We're going to talk about that. Super Bowl is played today. That's exciting. Last real football game of this season. Tennessee's got a couple guys that are going to get to play. We'll talk about them a little bit, highlight them. And then lastly, Tennessee gets a commitment from a 3-star wide receiver. We'll talk more about that, who he is. Real quick, though, before we take a dive in, scoot up just a little bit, look close at me. Please subscribe to this show. Gotta grow this channel. We gotta keep getting subscriptions. I really want to keep doing this and keep growing this channel and those subscribes. Golly, they help me so much. So please subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you being here. Let's dive on into it. So this comes from Channel 8 WVLT Josh Jarnigan. I found this on MSN.com. UT hires attorney William Bill, I guess is what he goes by, Burke, who is a big time attorney. They hired him to represent the university against the NCAA during its investigation. Now, don't combine this investigation with the federal court case that's going on, right? There's two separate things. So Tennessee is, the attorneys general of Tennessee and Virginia are both going at the NCAA, but because of what they're trying to do. This is the University of Tennessee actually hiring this attorney to represent them against the NCAA's investigation. This doesn't, involve the federal court case. While they're both related, two separate things. So just keep that in mind. This guy is big time. I think I saw on Twitter yesterday, and I have no idea if this is real or not. So this is pure conjecture, right? But I saw he makes like $1,900 an hour or something like that, which is, you better be good if you're charging that kind of dough. He has represented Martha Stewart, Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots, FIFA, and then Steve Bannon, who's a former White House advisor. I think his firm is out of Washington, D.C. So again, keep that in mind. UT is bringing out the biggest guns they can find to go against, to fight back against the NCAA. Remember, this is separate from the federal court case, which has an important date coming up. Today is the 11th. On the 13th, there will be a preliminary injunction hearing at the federal courthouse in the Eastern District of Tennessee in Greenville, Tennessee. Which again is the attorneys general of Tennessee and Virginia suing the NCAA for violating antitrust laws, right? So if you want to know more about that case, at the end of the video, I'll post little links for you to click because I've made a video on the temporary restraining order ruling that has taken place, as well as I have a really good video about it. Literally breaks down date by date about this whole case, what it all means, when it all happened. And it's kind of a good general timeline if you want to learn more about that. I've done a video about that as well. I plan to do another video about this once the ruling has taken place. Probably February 14th, probably that morning. I'll do a video about that. So let's roll in to topic number 2 today, and that would be that we have 2 former Tennessee Vols playing in the Super Bowl, and they were some big ones. Again, Super Bowl playing today at 6:30 p.m. It is the Kansas City Chiefs against the San Francisco 49ers. I'm I enjoy watching both of these teams. They're both, they're both tops in the league this year. The Chiefs, I've actually kind of always been a bit of a fan of the Chiefs. Mainly been an Andy Reid fan when I was growing up. He was the head coach in Philadelphia. Enjoyed those teams, and then he went to Kansas City. So I've always kind of followed them, and now they have one of the Tennessee greats, Trey Smith, number 65, big guy, plays right guard for them. And anybody who's been a Tennessee fan, he was unreal. Immediately was starting on the offensive line as a freshman, and that's hard to do as an offensive lineman. That is typically a developmental position unless you're just that good. And he was just that good. Just a big guy, played mean, which you want, right? And he was absolutely dominant. One of the best offensive linemen to come through UT, hands down. And that's some tough competition right there, right? At 100% would have been a top 10 pick had it not been for, and again, if you're a Tennessee fan, you probably remember this. He had a couple scares with possible blood clots in the lungs. I know there was some back and forth about that. And so because of that, teams just passed on him. They didn't want to waste a first-round pick on somebody that wasn't going to get to play, right? And he showed how everybody was wrong. Kansas City Chiefs, he was still sitting there in the 6th round. This is a first-round top 10 talent, top 5 talent. I mean, truly, amazing offensive lineman. And still sitting there in the 6th round. So the Kansas City Chiefs took a flyer on him, picked him up, and probably got the steal of that draft, right? And he's been one of the best guards in the NFL since getting picked up. So wish nothing but the best for him. Hope he stays healthy. He's truly one of the greats. Offensive lineman come through here and wish him the best. On the other side, I think a player that everybody kind of rooted around, or rooted for, I should say, Juwan Jennings, who is number 15, plays wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. Probably hasn't made, headline, I guess as consistent of an impact that Trey Smith made for the Chiefs, but has really made some key catches, some clutch grabs, particularly in the last few games. If you remember the last game, he had that amazing, kind of twirling one-handed catch, and is an absolute dog. I mean, I've never seen someone play more physical, especially at wide receiver, than Juwan Jennings. He was one of my favorite players to watch at UT. I followed him while he's played in the NFL, and he's, like I said, not made as much of an impact as Trey Smith, as consistent, but has made some key grabs. There was that one video clip, I can't remember if it was from the last game or the game before that, where he literally ran the cornerback. He was blocking that play, ran the cornerback all the way into the sideline, into the tables over there. And so just an absolute menace on the outside. I know if I was a cornerback, I would not want to line up against him, because he's going to come at you every play, and a guy that you would want on your team any day, right? And so those are the two Vols in the Super Bowl this year. Wish them the best, whoever comes out on top. Both Tennessee greats in their own rights, and again, wish them nothing but the best. Excited to watch them go at it tonight. So that comes down to the last topic of today's video, and that is this comes from Go Vols 24/7. Ryan Callahan, who covers a lot of the recruiting. I don't know if it's Joakim or Joakim Dodson. Is a 2025 3-star wide receiver out of Collierville, Tennessee. which I think is a little outside of Memphis, commits to the good guys, to UT, picks Tennessee over Missouri. He's one of those commitments that's kind of gathered more and more steam throughout the last couple of years. I think he makes 6 commitments now for this class. And it was somebody that Tennessee picked out early and has stayed consistent with. They're really, it was a very important target. 6 foot, 178 pounds. In the article from Ryan Callahan, they have his interview with the player. Dotson says, quote, "Being honest, this process for me, I feel like Tennessee was always the front runner. I did have my eyes looking at waiting until the summer, thinking about looking at other schools and doing this, but I always thought to myself, what am I waiting on? They had everything right in front of me, so what am I waiting on?" You like to hear that. How Tennessee's really appealing, especially in a Josh Heupel offense. I don't know why you'd want to play for anybody else or any other offense. It's I know last year had its moments, but if you look at Josh Heupel's coaching career, he consistently puts out top offenses in the country, and it's somebody they wanted. Talks about how he's a versatile player, can play both inside in the slot and outside. Someone, again, that has shown steady improvement year after year. It talks about how the speed has continued to improve, his game has continued to grow. And so it's somebody that talked about how he can high point the ball, and somebody that they wanted. And so, not the flashiest of commits, right? Not a 5-star. But they don't all have to be. I don't think Juwan Jennings was a 5-star, and he's playing in the Super Bowl, right? So excited for him. Excited for the commitment. Again, makes 6 in this class. I think it puts us in the top 10 now, and so looking forward to watching this class continue to grow and seeing who we can get. But anyway, that's all. That is it. That's all I got for you. I know there was a game last night between Tennessee and Texas A&M on the basketball court. I don't know if I even want to do a video about it. My anxiety goes crazy when we start getting beat and we end up losing. I may end up doing a video about that one tomorrow morning. We'll see how I feel if a little time when a little time has passed from that game. But anyway, I digress. Appreciate you being here. If you can, comment. Tell me what you think, how you feel about it. Please like the video. And again, look in my eyes. Number one thing that you can do for me is subscribe to the channel. Gotta grow this thing. If you're not, follow me on GDF Talks Sports on X / Twitter / whatever you want to call it, whatever it's called. But again, subscribe. Appreciate you being here. So underneath, I'm going to have links to the 2 different videos that I've made on the about the federal court case between the NCAA and Tennessee. If you're interested, one talks about the temporary restraining order, and the other talks about the timeline. Right. Again, look for me to do another video tomorrow morning. Have fun watching the Super Bowl. Might talk about that too. We'll talk about that. Again, thank you for being here. Hope you have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.